All right, what's up, Angel? How we doing today? I wanted to read something that I wrote on Substack a couple days ago, 2 days ago. My goodness, the body's still warm. But it's called Letting the Chords Ring Out. And the little subtitle is How My Necessary Pockets of Nothing Have Enhanced My Necessary Somethings. I set my timer on my phone for 15 minutes. I lay down on the couch, facing out the window into the buildings and occasional cloud. I do not read. I do not journal. I am inactive. This is one of my favorite pockets of the day. The Italians call it dolce far niente, or the sweetness of doing nothing. It was innate pray love if you find a movie to be a more trustworthy resource to find real life experiences to be inspired by. I take time and remind myself that my busy life will not lose its footing, boomeranging back to square one in all areas if I give myself 15 minutes to soak in the bliss of calm existence without driven purpose. In the short span of days spent having added this to my natural routine, I have noticed that the adding of nothing has been a necessary buffer between some things. Taking a moment removes the rush between responsibilities, almost like an aerial shot showing the new setting in a reality show between changes in context or environment. I added a quote: I have lived with several Zen masters, all of them cats. That was said by Eckhart Tolle. It's also because there's a little piece in here where there's a photo of a guy with a cat on a picnic table, and he's talking to the cameraman and says, "Look how carefree she looks. You have no schedule." It's more of a visual. The pockets of nothing allow the notes of each activity to ring out, to fade naturally rather than to be abruptly cut off, changing life from a run on sentence to a reflection between the chapters of the day. One day I'll find a way to expand further, but maybe some things are not meant to be stretched. Maybe the time I would spend expanding on this would be better doing nothing. Maybe it is in nothing that I will find the answer if one is meant to be found. That's pretty much it. I really liked it. I liked reading it. And I'm a big fan of my own Substack. I'll have it linked on the video, but I'm a big fan of my own Substack. I find myself going back to read my own work, not in like a I don't even want to say an ego way, but that's why a lot of the times I post on here or I post on Substack or I post on TikTok, not because I'm sitting there with bated breath thinking, is this going to be the thing that blows me up? Is this going to be the time where I trip and fall into one of those YouTube diamond in the rough videos where you have like 50 subscribers and your video has 2 million views or something? I never really think of it that way. I just love revisiting old thought patterns that are my own and to see whether ideas still resonate or not. This is a poor example of that because this is literally 2 days old. So obviously, this thought pattern is still, something I'm living by. But I guess that's not very obvious because sometimes we change our opinions or our routines or our ways of doing things quite quickly. And I actually am not completely against that. I do that quite often. So it wouldn't be abnormal for me to have completely dished this already. But what I like about this was I'd already done it for a few days. I didn't just stumble on 15 minutes of nothing for the first time and then say, oh my God, I need to tell the internet and coin it as my own thing. Because once again, I didn't make up doing nothing. I'm sure monks have done that forever. I feel like that's meditation, is doing nothing. Not in like a lazy way, but in like you're not trying to sit and zen out. You just kind of do it, and animals seem to be doing it quite often, whether it's grazing or just lying down looking out a window. So I did not invent nothing, but I don't know.